Okay, guys, so I'm back, and it is always that I was just petrified. Like, I felt like I couldn't breathe. Like, I was almost like frozen in my bed, and I couldn't even call for my mother, or I wouldn't even call to my sister because I knew she didn't care, and she would just tell me, shut up. And it was absolutely petrifying. Um, he would slowly stop walking, like very slowly. I told you, like, even up the stairs, everything was so slow, and he would walk down the hallway really, really, really slow. And then he would get to our bedroom door. And then he would look, and you knew he was just there. You could feel his presence there. And I ran to my mother's room one night because I swore I saw like a shadow of something standing outside of my room. And I didn't know what it was. It was like a shadow figure, like a shadow just person, like frame of a person that came really quick. And that was the only time that I can recall actually seeing anything. I don't remember now as a kid because I was really young, so I don't remember things that I might have seen. I just remember this one incident because it's the incident that I didn't even care. I just ran to my parents' room. This might even been a night that my father had already sent me back to my room. I ran back there, and I was telling, my mother let me actually come into the bed on this night. She didn't let me stay there for long. That was the thing. She just tried to calm me down, and it was like, you're not going to calm me down. There's this ghost. He comes up the stairs every single night. I kept telling my mother this. My mother's like, there is no ghosts, blah, 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 blah. I told her that there was a shadow figure, like a man, inside my, the frame of my door, and she sent me back along on my way. So this was just something that I dealt with on a nightly basis when I went to sleep. So one of the stories that really freaked me out about, well, one of the incidences, excuse me, that really freaked me out about this house, like really freaked me the fuck out. Can you say that on YouTube? Really freaked me out, was I was having some sort of like temper tantrum, I guess, in my mother's eyes. I don't recall the situation, but I know that our punishments were pretty harsh. We would kneel on the floor, and she would make sure that it was a hard surface floor, and she would tell us to like pray to God and for forgiveness, and that was kind of like what my mother did. But on this occasion, she put me in the basement because the basement was my scariest place, and all of the kids in the neighborhood, they believed that, like, there was something wrong with my basement, and our basement wasn't, like, a creepy basement. The only part of our basement that I remember being creepy were the stairs of my basement. Creepiest freaking stairs ever. And I remember, trust me, because I was locked in there. When my mother locked me in there, I don't remember, again, I can't say, because when you're a kid, it feels like forever, but I can guarantee you it was at least 30 minutes that my mother held me in there, because I know this for a fact, because she said she wasn't going to let me out until I calmed down, but I couldn't calm down because I felt a presence in there, and I've always been very, like I told you, drawn to spirits, and they've been drawn to me, obviously. This started at a very young age, and it was very scary. It wasn't a peaceful or a good experience whatsoever. I just remember, like, scratching at the door and knocking at the door. I actually remember hurting my fingers and just telling my mother, like, my hands hurt, because and my mother's like, well, stop knocking at the door, stop clawing at the door. But I was just a little girl, and I was absolutely terrified of this, what I thought was a ghost at the time. Obviously, my mother wasn't confirming this with me, but I was absolutely terrified. So that's something that happened to me in that house when I was little. And like I said, for some reason, even my brother's older friends, like I had my sister who was 3 years older than me, and then my brother was 3 years older than her. So my brother was already a teenager at this time, and he was always out and about and doing his own thing. He was like that. He was like 18 years old or something like that. 17, 18, I don't remember. Something like that. And even his friends did not like going in our basement. And when I say our basement was like completely redone over, like we had a pool table down there and stuff, that's where we hung out. But there was just, you know, it's crazy because for all the kids to just like randomly say that they don't like our basement, all the kids just feel like there's like a presence in our basement. I don't know. But anyways, it was terrifying. And I never ever can, I have nightmares about that moment. I think I'll have nightmares about it forever. I just have visions of me, and I'm a little girl, and I'm sitting there on the stairs, and I am like screaming and pleading and begging my mother to please let me out. And it was like impossible to scream down. It was impossible to calm down because my heart was literally beating out of my chest because I just felt like whatever was down there like wanted me in some way. And I don't know how to explain that, but that's just how I felt. And that is my first ghost story. And now I'm going to tell you what really, really, really freaked me out. So if you guys have enjoyed watching this video, and if you've stuck around that long, thank you so much. Watching the entire video really helps. Just the view doesn't help my channel. I thank you so much for your support. Please, if you're watching this video, still like this video, subscribe to my here we go again. I gotta do that once at least every video. Subscribe to my content, and hold on. Oh, today's video, by the way, is sponsored by, not really, Karma Water, but I mean, if you want to sponsor me, great. I mean, last video was Propel. I'll take any water that wants to sponsor me. However, I must say I do like Karma Waters. This one in particular is for probiotics, and I need them, so I have like severe digestive health issues, so this water is really awesome. You put the little stuff, they have all different kinds of waters for different reasons and different health purposes, and the little powder comes in the cap, and then you just press it down and it releases, and you shake it and you drink it. Voila! See, I'm like a superstar for your company. You should just sponsor me because I'm awesome. Okay, so anyways, thank you for sticking around this long with my video and my blobbing and my first ghost story. My second ghost story is a lot more horrifying than this one, if you can believe it. Like, it was horrifying because I was a child, but this one was really freaking horrifying. And I've told this story before. I actually wrote a story on it on a witches vlog that I'm on, like a witches website group thing that I'm on. I wrote a story about both houses, actually, both of my ghost stories. Maybe last year, I think it was, a year and a half ago or something like that. But I'm not editing that out. So anyway, guys, okay, shut up and get to your point. So my point is, of this story, the moral of this story is, hold on, I'll tell you in 1 second. So when I was an adult, I think I already had my first child at this point. I was still in communications with my mother at this time. She's my adoptive mother. And we were still in communications at this time. And she came to my house, and I don't know how we got into the story, but she said to me, I have to tell you something. I wanted to let you know something. And it's about the house that we lived on Trent Street. Whoops, I just said the name. Thank God for editing, right? I just totally... Anyways, yeah. Anyways, yeah. So my mother and I had this conversation, and she says about that house that we lived in, there was a ghost in that house. And then she goes on to tell me the story that when they were first buying the house, now I don't know the exact story, I do not remember. She told me this story a while ago. We haven't talked in over 10 years. So she said that when they were buying the house, we were at my grandmother's house living, or she was, excuse me, at my grandmother's house living. I wasn't even adopted yet. And they were getting ready to move in, and they got a phone call at my grandmother's house. And so my mother picks up the phone, and there's nobody there. It's just like, I think she said like a static, and then it was just like, I don't know. And then she said to my grandmother, she's like, I have to go to the house they were buying, this house that I'm talking about. My grandma's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, there's something wrong with the house. I have to go there right now. Now, they were getting ready to, like, close on the house, sign in the dotted line the following day. So, long story short, her and my adoptive father went to this house, the house, and it was flooding. I guess the tank, whatever, I don't know. All I know is, the water was overflowing, and something about it reaching, like, a tank down there, it was gonna, like, completely destroy the tank. It would have screwed up thing for them. Closing on the house the following day, it was a really big deal. So the crazy part about that is, like, who called my mother? Because nobody lived in that house. So my mother technically knew there was a ghost before she moved into the house, and her answer to that is that, well, the ghost must have been a nice ghost, a good ghost, because he called her and let her know that the house was flooding, and if they didn't come quick, I think it was like 2 inches from completely blowing out the water tank, the gas heater tank. I don't know. Call me dumb. I don't know. But I don't remember the whole story. I say a lot, huh? I'm trying to work on that. But anyways, it was like a couple inches away from destroying something that would have, like, prolonged them from buying this house, like a huge catastrophe. And she knew that it was a ghost, and she chose to move into this house knowing or thinking that well, obviously, I mean, who called you from the house? Casper called her from the house, apparently. Casper the Friendly Ghost, because that's what she thought he was. And my version of it is that he was calling you because he wanted us in the house. And I think that he maybe wanted me, and I wasn't even, like, part of that family yet. And that sounds crazy, right? But that is a lot about what I'm going to talk to you about during this series, and that's why I wanted to start this series. I have a hard time explaining myself a lot, and my connection with spirits and things like that. But yeah, they seem to be wherever I go, and they seem to find me wherever I am. And the journey definitely started in that house, and my mother telling me that and confirming made me think about the time that she stuck me in the basement saying, Mom, don't throw me in there because the ghost is down there, and freaking out and, like, thinking, like, I don't know, is that horrible? Is that a horrible thing for a mother to do? Am I crazy? Like, is that a normal punishment? You guys let me know in the comments below what you think. But I mean, I've been pretty much traumatized since. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that story. My next vlog will be on my second ghost story. I have a lot of ghost stories to tell in a lot of my paranormal adventures, but this one could definitely be made into a movie. And most people, like I told you when I even wrote the story on my witch vlog, there were some people who didn't even believe it, and that's going to happen sometimes. I'm sure you guys watch things sometimes and you're like, oh, they're full of shit, I don't believe this person or whatever, and to each his own. But, you know, I know that I lived it, and I'm here to share it for those who want to listen, and you can make up your own mind of what you believe and what you don't believe. But stay tuned. Remember to like this video and subscribe to my content. Hit that notification bell. It will let you know every time I upload a new video. And until next time, it's been real. Namaste, y'all.